And the way my check looking this week, you would have thought the United States government itself worked beside me. I'm talking about sat down, worked right there beside me the way they got paid. God! But I won't do no more overtime for them.
I asked the girlies in accounting what their salaries were, and now I'm questioning my life. Okay, I fear I am underpaid, and I fear a lot of the girlies in the comments of that video are also underpaid, and it's just kind of crazy. Like, I think that salary transparency is so important because then it like opens your eyes to realize like how much you could be making.
This cannot be the same check y'all are raising y'all family with. This is impossible. I'm by myself, struggling to pay for stuff. There's no way y'all got a wife and kids, or husband, and y'all are making it with this check. There's no way. Give me some financial advice or something, because there's absolutely no way. At the end of the week, I'm at least left with like 2 cents or something, like $100. That's nothing.
I just got paid, and I still had $50 from my last paycheck. Because who you know? No, I'll wait. Because who do you know? I am financially stable. I'm no longer in muddy waters. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I told y'all at the beginning of the year that I was not going to be one of the strongest soldiers this year. I'm not staying broke with y'all this year. We was going to lose some weight. We was going to get some money. We was going to close our mouths. We still ain't did that part yet. I have officially moved into a new tax bracket. Like, how much you making per year? Gotta be 6 figures. Yes, huh? Only doing 5-figure deals? Because you gotta be doing something. A whole $50? $50 ain't just like pocket change, y'all. Like, that's a couple meals for myself. That's half a bill. And to have that left over and the bills are paid?
I actually find these videos quite interesting, people actually sharing they're being transparent about their paychecks and what they earn, and showing you what their budget is, what they spend their money on, and what they have left over for savings, and if they really have anything left over after bills. And I feel like being, people just sharing these realistic things about their life and what's going on is kind of quite interesting. We always try to hide things like this and keep it private, or some people just want to tell you guys that they make over 6 figures and they earn this much money. I love when people are more realistic, showing you all the taxes, like the taxes that get taken out, all the things that they spend with their budget, their bills. I mean, you could actually take inspiration from some people and see, oh, maybe I should manage my finances even better, or maybe I'm doing something good, or maybe I'm not spending right. Before we get right into this video and check them out, I want to give a very big shout out to Chan for sending me a $5 super thanks. Thank you so much for always supporting this channel. I appreciate you. Please make sure you click the like button. It helps the algorithm, and I appreciate that. Let's get right into this video.
6 months ago, my paycheck increased from $100,000 a year to $108,000 a year, so I am so long overdue for a new paycheck breakdown. If you follow me, you know it has been quite a while since I've posted consistently on here. A lot has changed in the last year of my life. I moved apartments, I quit my job, I got a new job, I left a long-term relationship, I turned 26. Life has just been, it's been a lot. But I'm finally feeling more settled and want to get back to posting on this account. I truly like doing it. So let's get into it. I have all of my numbers here. So every 2 weeks, I am paid bi-weekly now, not weekly, which is heartbreaking. But every 2 weeks, my gross pay is $4,165.43. Starting with pre-tax deductions, I get taken out $5.14 for dental, $135.89 goes into my HSA, my health savings account, because I have a high deductible health plan, $50.88 towards medical, $1.27 towards vision, bringing my pre-tax deductions to $193.18. Next, I pay taxes. So I pay $534.28 to federal income tax, $57.60 towards employee Medicare, $246.28 towards Social Security, $198.61 towards Massachusetts state income tax, and $7.49 towards Massachusetts paid family leave, bringing my total taxes I pay to $1,044.26 every 2 weeks. I do contribute to my 401k as a Roth 401k, meaning it comes out post-tax. And so every 2 weeks, I contribute $207.69 towards that. $1.61 towards some group life insurance thing. I'm not totally sure what that is. $11.63 towards long-term disability and $9.97 towards something else that's related to long-term disability, bringing total post-tax deductions to $230.90. And that is how my paycheck goes from $4,165.43 to a total net take-home of $2,697.09. It is honestly a little sad to see the numbers like that, but obviously some of those things are savings accounts for me, so it's not going nowhere, but that doesn't make it any easier to see all that money go away.
I just got paid at 7 a.m. this morning. It is 5:45 p.m. and I have $25 to my name. What the fuck is a bill? I can't help but to think about bills. I can't escape bills. My granddaddy fucking name is fucking Bill. Bills just all around me, but not the dollar bills. That's what the fuck I mean.
Okay, y'all, I have 3 minutes before I go into work, so let's go over what I make as a CNA. I'm 23, and we're gonna start taking accountability and getting ourselves together. All my bills right here. I have a journal, and this is all my goals for 6 months, and we're gonna get into it. Basically, where I live, I make $1,400, and that's whenever I go to work, my 3 days a week. My car payment is $242. My car insurance is $195. My court payment, sadly, is $150. I'm gonna put $400 in my savings every time I get paid. Gas and food, I set aside $200, and my Apple credit card is $213. So what I'm gonna do about hair and stuff like that, but that's okay. You know, for 6 months I can survive. And my credit card, that will be paid off December 7th, putting that $213 into something else, which will probably be my other car payment. On the second page, I have a goal milestone. Baby, 23, I'm grown. It's time to start growing up. I keep it in my car on top of my dashboard, so that way every time I look at my car, it's right there. It's a constant reminder of saving. Very excited for new beginnings, a new start. This is just about taking an accountability and getting my life together, because I do not want to be paying debt when I'm in my 30s for something that I did in my 20s. Take advice from me and do not get yourself in any debt. Like, I really regret that. That is the worst decision that I've ever made. I'm very grateful and I'm very blessed, but I just want to say, like, don't do that. If anybody wants to start this journey with me, just follow me and we're gonna start this journey together, and we're gonna hold each other accountable.
I quit my corporate job after 11 years, basically. I got my last paycheck and my last pay stub. So I'm going to tell you guys exactly what it came down to. For context, I work from home. I work part-time, 4 hours a day, 20 hours a week. I've been working part-time for about 1.5 years. And all the deductions and everything, pretty much for my family, comes out of my paycheck. My last paycheck came down to 6 working shifts. One of those shifts was a holiday, so I got holiday pay, even though I opted out. That's a conversation for another day. So I did get like holiday pay, time and a half for the 4 hours. My hourly rate was $27.10. Time and a half of those 4 hours, my rate shows $40.65. Outside of my 20 hours plus the holiday. And then I got PTO earnings of $21.23. This paycheck was actually much more than it usually would be. My gross was $1,400. What came out was pre-tax deductions, health insurance. I get like $50 go into my HSA. Taxes came to about $130. Post-tax deductions, my net pay was just under $900. It's gonna feel weird to like start not getting consistent money dropped in my account, but I am fully working for myself now. The first time ever.
So I just got paid $10,953.63 as a software engineer in Seattle. Let's budget my paycheck for this month. So the $10,953.63 is my gross pay, but you know we got to pay taxes. So off the bat, I paid $2,680.73 in taxes, which is not really bad considering Washington doesn't have a state tax, so it could always be worse. Next is just benefits they take out of my paycheck, which was $203.63. And for my 401k contribution, I just do enough to get the match from my employer. And so that comes out to $430 on the dot, making my take-home pay $7,639.27. Next, I like to pay off my credit card balances from the previous month. So on my Robinhood Gold credit card, I paid off $1,125.44, which was the statement balance. Next, I paid off my Amex Gold card, which I use for food and groceries, and that came out to be $760.66. Unfortunately, I had to pay off some student loans, so I put $700 into those, aggressively trying to pay them off. And with the remainder of the money, I usually decide month by month what I want to do with it. For this month, I'll probably put it in a high yield savings account or even pay off a little bit more on my loans. But that's how I budget my paycheck each month as a 23-year-old software engineer working in Seattle.
I'm an air traffic controller, and my gross pay was $4,904. Let's see how much actually went to my bank account. So I've been working at level 5 tower for the last 5 years. My annual salary is $97,655. And people all have this common misconception that we all get paid a lot, which granted we do, but it definitely depends on what kind of tower or facility you work at and what level. All right, let's go through what made up that whole $4,900 number. So first off, I worked 80 hours. That was $3,744. I had 1 hour overtime, so that was $30. 30 was just a half, so $46, which is the hourly pay. Holiday work, we get paid extra for working holidays. That was $374. I had 11 hours of night differential, so like when I worked late at nights, that was extra $52. Controller in charge, so I was in charge for 18 hours over the last 2 weeks, and that was $87. And some we call controller incentive pay, which is what I get paid for working at a harder to staff facility. That was $161. OJT initiative is when I train people. So I train people for 18 hours, which totaled up to $218. And last but not least, I worked 16 hours on Sundays to get paid extra on Sundays, and that totaled up to $187. Now let's see how much I took out of that. All right, starting with the heavy hitter first, federal taxes. There were $728 gone instantly. And for healthcare, it's myself plus one, and that was $186. So for my FSA, it's $46 every paycheck. My pension is 4.9% automatically going off the top, and that was $183. And that's not an option, that's just automatic 4.9% gone. But I guess I see it in the end, so sure. For my life insurance, that's $5. And I have extra life insurance, that was another $16. Medicare tax, that was $67. All right, state tax, that was $243 I paid to Connecticut. Dental and vision, that was $43. And for my TSP, which I put around 7%, which is like a retirement account, so a retirement Roth account, that was $262. And for Social Security, that was $286. And last but not least, for union dues, that was $52. Total deductions were $2,126, and leaving my net pay for $2,778. So my pay varies a lot depending on overtime and holidays. Like my last check was $3,700 because I worked a lot of overtime and it was a holiday into that or two. So sometimes my check's as low as $2,000 or it might be up to, like I said, $3,700.
What's up, besties? It's your girl Bree. So I'm coming up on my 1-year mark of becoming a nurse, and I thought I would do a pay transparency video because we all want to know. I am a registered nurse in New York City. I have my BSN, and I currently work in ICU. It feels so crazy to not be a student anymore. This is for educational purposes only. So I'm going to be going over my very first paycheck as a nurse. So this is my new grad rates. This is straight out of school, straight to work. This was my first check. So let's get into the details. I worked 3 12s this week, and I got bi-weekly. So this was 6 shifts in total. My starting rate, $61.91. My gross pay was $4,727.35. Now, taxes. I paid $720.98 in federal income tax, $293.09 in Social Security tax, $68.55 in Medicare tax, $254.40 of New York State tax, $180.66 in New York City tax. So my net pay was $3,209.67. Taxes are a lot, but I still think as a new grad nurse, you know, you're broke. That was an amazing first check for me, and I was happy with it. I was like, okay, let's go shopping. So I'm going to be doing more nursing content now that I've gotten into my groove at work. Yeah, so follow for more.
I want to know how much you make, and I promise I'll tell you how much I make too. I am Katie. I am 29. I live in Los Angeles, and I work in a corporate sales job. I've always really been super interested in salary transparency and kind of what it takes to make money in a city like Los Angeles. I'm gonna share what I make, and you tell me, like, is that a lot? Is that nothing? Is that totally average? Working in sales, basically you have a base pay, and then you have your on-target earnings. My on-target earnings for my position are $154,000 a year. I'm really not making that much. Base salary is $77,000 a year. Last year I made like $120,000. This year I am on track to make $77,000. It's been a tough one. But here's what that $77,000 looks like. I'm paid twice a month. This last paycheck came out to $3,262.50. All of those taxes took about $675.28. Medical coverage was about $92 and dental was $6. Somebody recently told me dental is a scam, and I don't know what they meant by that. If you have any context, I'm eager to find out. 401k was at 6%, so that was about $200, leaving me with $2,296.21. I immediately take about $1,500 of that and put it away to pay my fixed costs for the month, leaving me with about $710 to spend. So how does that sound? Is that insane? Is that a lot? Is it not? Curious, where are you at? How does this look? What are your thoughts? Let me know. I'll see you later.
Hey y'all, my name is Mila, and I served in the Army for 4 years, and this is my pay transparency video as a veteran. I've always wanted to do one of these because I see everybody do it. The nurses do it, everybody do it, so I was like, let me do it. So I joined the Army at 17 years old in August 2021, straight out of high school. No real plan, actually no plan at all. I just knew that my parents couldn't afford college. I didn't get any scholarships, so I had to do something. To make something shake, okay? Looking back, I am like super grateful that this is the path I chose because I've met some really good people. I've gained a ton of knowledge. It's just been a life-changing experience, as you may imagine. I officially got out of the Army in November 2025 at 21 years old. Okay, let's get into February's paycheck. We're going to do February because we are in the month of February. Today is February 7th, and I got paid on February 1st. A little earlier than that, but let's just say February 1st. Let's get into it. For the month of February, I received a total of $6,661.99. Cannot forget the cents because I need all of that. Let's be real clear. This income is strictly from the VA. This does not include any side hustles I have going on, any little additional stream of incomes I have. This money is just from the VA. So I received $4,318.99 from VA compensation and pension, as I am 100% disabled, permanent and total. In addition, I received $2,343 from the GI Bill because I am in nursing school. The $2,300 and blah, 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 that is my monthly BAH, and I will continue to receive that as long as I enroll. I messed up, but I'm not going to cut it out. We just going to do it again. Like I was saying, the $2,343 is from the GI Bill because I am in nursing school. That money I will continue to receive as long as I'm enrolled full time. So the $4,000+ that I will receive for the rest of my life for the damages that was done to me. Yeah. And then the $2,000 something, that's because I am in school full time. So I'm not going to get that for the rest of my life. I'm just getting it as long as I'm in school. Shit, I might do school for the rest of my life. Who knows? But yeah. So the $4,000+ plus the $2,000+ bring the total to $6,661.99. Completely untaxed. No tax is getting taken out of it, which is significantly more than I was making as an E4 in the Army. So round of applause. I also want to add that I am currently not employed. I don't have a job right now because my focus is school, my kid, and just finally enjoying the freedom that I gave up 4 years ago. Like, I'm basking in the fact that I don't have to wake up and go to a job and clock in like I was doing for the past 4 years. And I love that.
I asked the girlies in accounting what their salaries were. And now I'm questioning my life. Okay, I fear I am underpaid, and I fear a lot of the girlies in the comments of that video are also underpaid. And it's just kind of crazy. Like, I think that salary transparency is so important because then it like opens your eyes to realize like how much you could be making. And obviously like location matters. Like, that was a big comment from people. Having your CPA was another one. Obviously switching jobs is probably the easiest way to get a pay bump, unfortunately, but that just like really put into perspective. I kind of already had an idea of these things, but like the societal norms of like, you know, go to school, get a good job, and then stay there for 40 years. Bro, you're never gonna get it. You're never gonna get the pay that you deserve if you stay at the same company for 40 years. I'm sorry, I hate to break it to you, but the girlies in the comments said the same thing. Like, they noticed the biggest jump when they switched jobs. So I'm about to get my CPA. I'm waiting on my last test score. Get your CPA. It sucks, but it's worth it. And then it sounds like you try to get a different job after you get that CPA, because you become more valuable person to someone else with that CPA, those 3 little letters behind your name. So that was kind of the conclusion that I came to. We'll kind of see where the next few months take us, if we do look for some other jobs or if we stay or whatever. But definitely building side hustles, continuing to invest. That's what my whole page is about, to supplement that income, because I don't want to just rely on my $75,000 salary. But yeah, I'll keep you updated, and if you participated in those comments, thank you, because that gave me like so much perspective. I know a lot of other people were reading those comments too, so I don't know, just eye-opening. Big fan of salary transparency.
Budget my realistic paycheck with me. I'm 21 years old. I make $25.45 an hour. I work 40 hours a week, so let's do it. So for this pay period, I got paid $1,496.80. I had about $242 left from my last paycheck, so that put my total in my bank account at $1,723.45. That leaves me at $1,483.12 left in my account. So let's get into bills so I can break down what I have left over to save and spend. I always like to start off with my tithes, so I took 10% of a $1,496 paycheck, and that was $149.68. And then the next bill that I have is my car payment. My total car payment is $447, but I do split payment, so $230 and $217. 2 weeks ago, I paid $230 on my car payment, so this pay period, I'm doing $217. That's all the bills that I have for this pay period, so that leaves me with $1,113.12. Okay, now let's get into my savings accounts. Okay, so for my Roth IRA, it takes $100 out of my account at the end of the month, I think on the 22nd, and it took $100 out of my last paycheck, so I don't have to pull anything out of this paycheck for my Roth IRA. Okay, so now for my high yield savings account, last pay period, I put $500 into my high yield savings account, so this pay period, I think I'm going to put $300. For my high yield savings account, my goal every paycheck is to save $300 to $500 from each paycheck. So as long as we're like somewhere in between that range, I feel like I'm doing good. So I just put $300 into my high yield savings account. So that leaves me with $813.12 left to spend for this paycheck.
I love watching money transparency videos, especially when it's from a person that has like a really unique job. I'm going to do a money transparency video as a full-time content creator, and I've been a full-time content creator for 7 years. What's really unique about my job is I only get paid once a month. Although it may sound a little insane by getting paid once a month, I get paid from multiple platforms once a month. So it's kind of like, I get paid 3 times a month. YouTube pays every 21st of the month. TikTok pays every 15th of the month. Facebook pays every 23rd of the month. This is my last month's paycheck, and this one is a little unique because I didn't work as much as I was supposed to work. First, I'm going to start with YouTube. YouTube is where I get the bulk of my money, and I run 3 channels. With all of my 3 channels combined, I made a little bit over $17,000. YouTube is my big check. That's my most important check. I use that to pay majority of my bills. My YouTube check goes towards my rent, where I have 2 places, one in New York and one in New Jersey. One of my apartments I pay $1,250 for, and my other apartment I pay $2,275 for. I do have a Roth IRA, and I have 4 children, and all of them have a non-custodial Roth IRA because they are my employees. I only contribute $600 to each because you actually get penalized if you go over your contribution amount. YouTube also goes towards my credit card bills. I don't have a lot of credit cards. I only have 4, and I only use them to do things like food shop. I literally just use them for food shopping, so it's never too crazy. Also use my YouTube check to pay my kids homeschooling. 2 out of 4 of my children are homeschooled, and I do pay for home instruction because I don't have the patience to teach anybody. Johnny only had 4 apples before I'm ready to bust Johnny ass. I pay $134 a week for each kid to get their home instruction. Also with my YouTube check, I pay the kids in our health insurance. After I'm done paying all that with my YouTube check, whatever is left over, I put it inside me and the kids' high yield savings account, and I also take a portion of that and put it in my tax account. I don't work a traditional job, so I don't get all the good taxes, federal, state, Medicare, Medicaid, all that stuff. They don't automatically take that out my taxes. I have to pay taxes on my own, so I pay quarterly taxes. My Facebook check was almost $8K. Usually with my Facebook check, I use that for the supplies for both of my apartments. Also with my Facebook check, I pay my kids their allowance, and included in their allowance is like their hair, their nails, their outfits, all of that good stuff. With my Facebook check, I pay my renter's insurance for both apartments. I also pay me and the kids life insurance. Whatever is remaining goes towards all of my subscriptions. That's an account that automatically comes out. By the way, I have to check that account because Netflix and Apple got me fucked up. TikTok, I take it as a joke, so it only goes towards one bill. The only way you really making money nowadays in the now of TikTok is if you do like TikTok shop, or if you go live and you see them people asking for gifts. That's the only way you're gonna make a large lump sum of money. Other than that, again, it's a joke. I only made a little over 1K from TikTok, and I use that to pay my AT&T bill, which is $580 a month, because I have everybody and their grandmother on my phone bill. Usually I have some money left over, and all of that money will go towards anything that I like to do, and I don't like to do much. I like wigs and food. Wigs and food. That's about it. And I live comfortably. The good thing about my job is you make as much money as you want to. The more videos you put out, the more money you make. The bad thing about it is you don't have no boss telling you what to do, so it's very easy to be lazy. I feel like it's something that everybody can do. It's just that a lot of people lack discipline and a lot of people lack consistency, but you have to realize that consistency looks different from everybody. So once you find what works for you, the shit is money. It's easy. Also, if content creation is something that you feel like you want to get into, you just don't know where to start or what to do, what to talk about, you just need somebody to hold your hand, you can click the link in my bio and I'll help you out, friend. But that was my money transparency video.
I feel like seeing things like this, you know, a lot of us will hear the numbers at first, like what someone earns, and then you're like, oh my God, that's a decent number. Like, I think this amount actually makes sense. You know, it's a good amount. I would love to earn that. But then seeing like what they spend, like all their budget, the transportation, the groceries, the rent and mortgages, or the things, the bills that actually takes up this money, kind of brings you back to reality to see that, oh, you know what? It's not just, you know, the salary itself. Like, people are actually spending this money as it comes. You got to spend it on things. You got to pay for your lifestyle. You got to pay for those bills. And they take it all. At the end of the day, is what you got left over that you know you do not need to survive that month. And a lot of expenses, and maybe like people got loans and stuff like this, all these things that they have to pay. So we all have different responsibilities, you know, in this life. And that's what happens with our paycheck. Our paycheck takes away a lot of things. Like, they just take, the moment you just get it, whoom, 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 like this place is everywhere. It's like stretching their hands and taking everything. And sometimes everything is gone, like you ain't got nothing, you know. And sometimes you got something, dependent on what your lifestyle is and what you got going on. And as you can see, everybody's life is different. People's things that people actually spend their money on, their responsibilities, what they got going on, their decisions, and their, you know, lifestyle is absolutely different for everybody. Our personal choices actually makes a whole difference with what this whole thing looks like. And another reason why I actually like these videos is because it helps me compare expenses, and I pick up like some budgeting ideas from some people. little. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's actually important for you not to compare your financial situation or your finances with somebody else. Like, just watching these things, just watch it like, you know, lightly. No need to actually compare your own life and your finances and everything to somebody else, because you don't know what their emergencies is. You don't know what their unexpected situations could be. You don't know what their family responsibilities, every different things that they might have. They're just sharing with you what they want to share with you. And sometimes, you know how it is on social media. Some people might not be honest. They could just, you know, some people might hide some parts and tell you the half parts and not the full story. We just know what we're told, you know. I hope you enjoyed this video. You've made it to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching this video to the very end. Please make sure you click the like button. It helps with the algorithm and I appreciate that so much. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you're watching me for the very first time. Hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video. And leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about this video and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.